You're live right now, so that's awesome.
We live in effect.
Welcome. Welcome to the show. First episode on Facebook. Or shit. YouTube.
Oh man, they're gonna cut us off, bro.
I don't want to be disrespectful. Don't want to be disrespectful there. So, all right, that's awesome. All right, so once my intro plays, then we'll jump into it and I'll introduce. And it's all right now. Boom. And just like that, we are live once again. Welcome to the Monsterpreneur Minds podcast, episode 888. Today, I got a very special guest with me. Got my man, Mico White, one of the top videographers in the industry right now. Probably somebody who is one of the most creative people that I've interviewed in doing this. The conversation is going to be super dope today. I know this. I know this man back from Brandon High School. Used to play a lot of ball together, and we connected back then. And then life has a crazy way of bringing people back around. And this is where we are at this point. And this is going to be a super dope conversation, man, because what this guy does, a lot of people, um, it's what they like to watch. It's putting the perspective of getting everything and making sense down into a lens and a camera, and to be able to get that out to the masses. This is one of the best industries, and my man does it probably, he's at the top of his game right now. So without further ado, let me introduce my man, Mr. Mico White. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for inviting me, man.
No problem, brother. Thank you for doing this. I always like it when somebody accepts an invitation.
Oh yeah, accepted definitely.
It's not easy to get people nowadays to do things. That's kind of what I've been noticing. And when you can reach out to somebody and you want to, connect with that person, and they say, yeah, I'm down, let's do it, without any hesitation, it makes you feel good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you said you were down to do this, you were on my target list. So, thank you. Thank you,
No,
man. I really
definitely, yeah,
appreciate your time.
definitely.
Got a couple of different things to go into. So, really, I want to gear this conversation to a lot of entrepreneurial type of discussions that we're going to have. You are a busy, busy man.
Yeah.
And one thing, the headphone settings are right here. So if you need higher or lower on how I hear you, or if you don't hear me because I kind of took the mic off on the headphones,
Oh, okay.
I just didn't want too much backdrop noise.
No, what you had earlier was perfect.
Just like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
All right, cool. If you need
yeah.
to adjust it, it's right there.
Yes, sir.
Um, anyways, with getting into what
Oh no, what you had before, not right now, because yeah, I can hear the echo, 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 echo. Oh, that's perfect. Bam,
just
bad boy, take that. Let's go.
just like that. All right, cool. Um, so you got into you're a very busy man. That's where I was going with
Yes,
that. All
sir.
right. So let me get my train of thought together. You shit, man. Every time I see your Instagram or any of your socials, man, I get tired just watching them because I feel like you are always out doing something and you're always in the mix. Staying busy, is that something that is it running you down?
No, it hasn't run me down because I think I try to keep a kind of structure to it. I'll do a couple videos like 2 or 3 days in a row, and then I'll say, okay, it's time to take a break. Relax a little bit. get back on the game or everything like that. So it hasn't run me down only because I've like after the past couple of years I've kind of created structure. Now 2 years ago it was a hot mess. I was just all over the place, just
Mm,
doing it, not getting much sleep. But I was like, this is not going to work because I'm just going to wear myself down. So I needed to kind of structure myself. So
nice.
yeah.
So before we get into really what it is you do, pre Mico White to not being in the videography industry, what were you doing?
Great question. Actually, that's I wasn't really doing too much. Like I think I was in the insurance business. And almost any type of insurance license. It was like I had auto insurance, health insurance, all that. But honestly didn't really have a direction. I was just going where, make sure the bills are paid, make sure they're taken care of. Um, and then when finally videos came, and that's why I felt more of a heart on doing this. So that's where I'm at now. And I'm so thankful for it too, because before I was just like, okay, I'll just come and work, make my money, and then I'll just go party later.
Mm,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
40, 40, 40.
Yeah, yeah.
Work 40 hours, retire in 40 years, hopefully live off of 40% of what
You
you
know
can
what I'm
actually
saying?
make. That's not a life for people, man. So that's why this show I feel like is so important, because even if some people just get a little bit of something out of what somebody else brings to the table, hopefully, something resonates with them and it
Yeah, man.
clicks. So how did you get into, or what was the spark to get you into recording, um, putting everything through a camera? What was the main shift from what you were doing, not in that industry, and then just hopping right into it?
Um, I feel like it started when I had a few buddies of mine. They used to break dance and stuff like that. They asked me, "Hey, like, can you hold my camera, hold my phone real quick, get some videos of me?" And I'll do a couple times. And they kind of hyped me up after they looked at it. It was, "Oh, this is really good. You should keep doing it." And I was like, "All right, I'll keep doing it." So I kept doing it, and it was fun. And then one guy asked me like, "Hey, how much you charge for that?" And then, a light bulb hit. I was like, wait, I can make some money off this. Hold on, let me think. And then
Mm,
that's when I decided, okay, maybe I should invest in it. So I literally took like 2 weeks of like self-taught lessons, buying books, YouTubing, bought some equipment, and then I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to just jump out there, you know. And yeah, I wasn't really perfect in the beginning. I really sucked. Now I look back at the videos now, I'm like, wow, what was I thinking? But like, it was just the leap you went over to do that. But I think it just started really with like, just friends kind of encouraged me to kind of just do that. And then that's when I did it.
nice. So you were one to self teach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything you've learned into where you are now, it all started with you doing your own research.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of YouTubing, a lot of Barnes and Nobles, books, and actually just asking a lot of questions. I didn't know anyone that did videos, so like I asked questions with photographers at first. Like how do I do this? How do I do that? That was kind of a big hump because like they don't do videos, but they helped me out with a lot of lighting. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? So that definitely did. I think that's what kind of sparked the fact that maybe it's just a little bit different than a lot of people out there because like a lot of videographers out there, um some of them are self-taught as well, but they never really kind of specialize in lighting, and that's when I kind of like I think I got that advantage and still kept going learning the rest of the stuff.
nice,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, so that's a major key for people, man. When you want to do something or learn something, it all starts with your self motivation, right?
yep, yep,
You
true.
got to be motivated to go out there and just do something, right? A lot of
Yes.
people, they don't want to, as my man Bobby Kim would say, jump out the plane because they're too busy thinking about the parachute, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to open? Sometimes you just got to jump. So it's very interesting because a lot of entrepreneurs that I've talked to, they've looked at it from, what can I learn on my own first, right? To see if I want to go down this space. And then once you have that built up, then you go into, okay, now I just want to learn everything. And
Yeah.
then that's where, did you have people that you reached out to once you got to that stage where it was like, okay, how do I take this to the next level? I've learned almost everything I can learn on my own. Do you have mentors that you reach out to, or that are involved in your whole process of what you do?
I did in the beginning. I did have one mentor. um I didn't really see him much because he lived in Spring Hill, but like, I'll just watch his work, talk to him, ask him questions and stuff like that. And it came to a point where like I kind of not you can't say you surpass somebody, but it kind of comes to a point where like you learn so much from them, it's time to move on, you know. So yeah, I did have one person, pretty good guy actually. But he doesn't do videos no more now. That's the funny part. But in the beginning, I did learn a lot from him. So I think that was a good advantage. And then my sister actually, because my sister's a photographer, so she was kind of like throw this and that on how to edit and everything like that. And like I think probably the first year after that, I was like, okay, I think I can
You got
be on.
this.
Yeah, I think I got this. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. But like we talked about, in order to be an expert or at the top of your class in whatever you want to be, you're always learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always learning. Was your sister a big part of you getting into
Yeah, she
what you
was
do?
actually one of the people that encouraged me. She was. She definitely helped me out. Shout out TR White.
Uh,
Yeah. And then now, because she specialized in photography, journalism. It's interesting now because recently now she's into videos too. So this is kind of cool because sometimes we'll kind of trade off like ideas, options, and secrets now. So it's kind of like a cool bond between us now. So
nice.
yeah.
Do you guys like, pass work to one another?
Yeah, we do actually. We do. We like, I think I passed a couple of photography weddings to her. I think last time she passed a fitness instructor to me. So yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. I always thought if I had like a brother or sister, I feel like I'd be able to take over the world.
Right, right.
You,
Teamwork. Yeah,
like coming up and being, brought up as an only child, you didn't have that. Your parents always supported whatever it is that you would do.
yeah.
But I felt like for people who, have siblings, and if you are on a good level, mentally, spiritually with your sibling,
Right.
man, I mean, that's like two for one,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Real talk.
Right. So when you took off getting into the videography space, now you've learned everything to be comfortable with it. What did you dive into first? And what was the thought process behind you know what you wanted to shoot, for to reach out and grab? What did you want to get involved with first?
That's good. That's great. It had to be dance videos. I felt like after like learning how self-taught and everything, I felt like okay, I really haven't mastered that. Like let me dive back into that. So I started doing that. And also it was more of a being content with it. Like I'll be honest, when you first start off, like you gotta be comfortable with one side of things before you jump out of it. So it was like it was dance videos. After that, then I felt encouraged to go ahead and do music videos, which was a big, big, big learning curve because that's a totally different aspect. That's when I had to learn more about sound,
Mm,
how about syncing in and stuff like that. Because with dance videos, ain't nobody talking,
right.
they're just moving around, and you just holding the camera still, So yeah, dance videos, and then it moved on to music videos, and after that, that's when I just it spiraled to like completely everything, like learning everything I want to do. Yeah,
Now, was it when you started catching a buzz, right? Was it just referrals from people you shot for? Or was it, you putting yourself out there, marketing yourself to start generating that type of buzz? Because I know for a lot of entrepreneurs, man, it's hard to get off the ground,
yeah,
and that's one of the big things that people usually quit
mm,
because the success doesn't come as quick as they want it.
yeah, yeah,
So with you and getting into what you were doing, was the success there right away? Because I know some people get lucky, and some people, it's like boom, you're all wheels are going, and you're getting to where you want to go. Was it was it very successful for you in the beginning, or was it something that you had to kind of beat yourself up on a little bit at times when you would see and go back to what it is you would capture?
it was not successful at all. Not in the beginning at all. Like, and the thing about like what you were saying earlier about like, it's not fast enough. Like, it's hard for someone to determine like it's not going fast enough when you have absolutely no idea the length of how long it's going to take for you to have a buzz. Like no one teaches you like, okay, it's going to take 2 years, it's going to take 3 years. No, absolutely not. So you have to leave. You have to take that time frame right out of it. Like if you have a heart for it, just keep going until it happens. And if it happens, hey, good. But if it don't. Um, there was two different type of buzz. Like the first buzz I got was really more from clientele. Like it was clientele buzz. Like, oh man, I need to book him. I need to book him. And that took, I think it was like 2 years after I started filming. That's
Okay.
when I started getting buzzed. Because I've been doing this since 2012 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 years later, so 2014 is when it started popping. I got a lot of clientele buzz, so the revenue picked up. Very happy about that. And I don't think till recently, 2 years ago, is when I got more of a viewer buzz. Like because before I'll get like 20 views here or 30 views there, and now it's like 29,000 views here, 14,000 views there. You know what I'm saying? But I was like a couple years ago. I think I don't know where it came from. I honestly don't know. It just popped up one day, and I was like, oh, okay,
Mm.
awesome. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was two different type of buses.
Now I heard your rant that you were going off on yesterday.
I go off a lot of rants, so we're gonna see which one he's talking about.
Well, you kind of hit the nail on the head because with social media nowadays, it's a it's a very I feel like social media is not for the faint of heart,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And especially for entrepreneurs who are trying to do something, right? We rather glorify the fat ass on
Yeah.
the photo or
Oh yeah, he's talking about that. Yeah.
as opposed to give the like to the person who is actually trying to give you some substance,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So I feel like as a society, we kind of maybe you could help me with this and clarify this. Why are we at a point where congratulating and trying to push somebody who's trying to do something and and do something for the betterment of people is overlooked, and it's almost like my like's too good for me to like that.
Hmm.
I'm not going to give that my like.
Yeah, like they work hard for that like. But no, I see what you're saying. I think honestly, I don't want to like single out, but I think it's America society. It's like if it doesn't entertain them, they're not gonna mess with it. Like so, like originally, like the stripper, like the stripper, it entertains them because they're beautiful, whatever they're doing, they're half naked, blah blah. Oh, you're gonna get a like. I want to keep seeing this. But like if you drop a book and you don't even read books, even though that person is trying to make something out of themselves, being an author and everything like that, you're not going to support them because they're like, what's in it for you? Like it's really
Right.
sad. It's like a selfish thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though you didn't pay for this like that you give out to people, you didn't do anything hard. You just press the button, but somehow that's way too much for you. You know?
Yeah, like I still I can't wrap my head around, you know, why we just why we've gotten to the point where we can't congratulate. It
Hmm.
almost seems like it's hard to congratulate people and build them up.
Yep.
We've become such a society that we would rather break somebody down and then build them back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the breakdown process is more entertaining than building and encouraging.
That's very true. That's very true. Like, in fact, there's a lot of people more encouraged about saying something negative about a movie and comment that versus saying something good about it. Like, oh, I didn't like this. I didn't like that. You took the time to say all that, but you didn't take the time on this other video to say, oh, this was great. Keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I bring that conversation up because I heard your rant and it was good. It was, yeah, you're gonna put your like on the girl with the fat ass, but you just liking it because she got a fat ass.
Yeah.
And there's no other substance on why you really liking that. It's a visual thing, but for entrepreneurs to get over that hurdle and get through that, to break that wall of more views, more streams, more likes, more downloads, right? It took you 2 years. and really you said almost 4 years to even get to that level
Yeah.
where things started changing into the thousands. Now we're not even talking about, you know, big thousands,
Yeah.
that most people never even get there. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're running a business and you're trying to do it, what have you seen when you were breaking through that? Like, I just got to keep going. It doesn't matter if three people like it, five people like it, 10 people like it. You know, how did you mentally prepare yourself for, I just got to keep going. I got to keep going no matter what people think.
Yeah. I think it's really because like the love I have for it. Because I just would look back and saying, like kind of what I was telling you earlier, I look back and saying, like, what I do before this? Did I have a love for any of this stuff? No. Like it doesn't matter if like this person like it or doesn't like it. I like it. I enjoy it. It's helping me out. I'm still getting my bills paid and I'm happy to do it. Who cares? I'm gonna keep going. The minute when you start not worrying about that is when things start popping off for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's very interesting. People can measure by looking at a video. People can measure if you rush the video or you put your foot into it.
Mm,
I don't know how. I'm still trying to figure it out, but they can just tell. They can be like, oh yeah, I've seen his work plenty of times. I can tell you, you put your heart in that, or brother, I look like you just threw that up there.
that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely like that. If you ever listen to a favorite artist of yours, you can probably tell if they were really into the song, or you can tell that you felt that with them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how it is with videos. And I honestly think that's you know, um when the things start popping off is just when you just really just more worry about like, how you did on your own videos versus like whatever else things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me and I don't know if you heard the interview I did with uh Cuddy. I call him Cuddy. But he's a digital illustrator.
Mm.
And it's funny because I heard a conversation and I saw a little bit of the interview that the baby did with DJ Clue, right?
I know what you're
And
talking about. Yep.
the one thing that was very interesting, and what me and Cuddy talked about, was when people start gravitating to your throwaways, like your editing pieces that are not really built for throwing it out there yet,
Yeah.
because that's not a finished piece, it's rough. Or, you know what, we're just going to take a different avenue to do this whole, production, and somehow the other footage leaks out there, or the other images leak out there, and people are like, yo, that was
Yeah.
phenomenal, right? Is that where you start becoming, you start making a breakthrough? Is when people like the throwaways, and now they're also gravitating to that. So now it brings them down a different avenue of now seeing the real work that you put your heart into. Like, when you have feedback like that, like what the baby said was, you got people out there that are gravitating to my music that I did in 15 minutes because I got a check cut, not to mention the stuff that I really put my work into that you haven't even heard yet.
Hmm.
So in your industry, do people get to see the throwaways? Do they get to gravitate, towards that? Do you
Yeah.
release that?
Yeah. I really just like behind the scene videos. Those work the same direction, and they do like it. There are some people that just like to see like how it was made, what's the growth, some of it. Like some people like it's interesting because you don't really know what people like when you throw it up there. Like, I'll put like 80 hours into one video and they may not care about it, but the other video I'll do that took me like 2 minutes to do,
Mm,
yeah, it goes viral. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's just very interesting. You just can't really tell on here. But yeah, they do like the behind the scenes. I do a lot of those. That's why I noticed with like my Instagram stories or like Facebook stories, people are into like, your opinions about certain things. You try not to get too vile with it, but like, just, normal things. So yeah, I started noticing that and I was like, let me try to capitalize off that, see if that, you know, brings it out. So yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah, it's funny because some of the things that people would put on their story, like I could never picture myself putting it out there like that.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
mean, the opinions that one has,
Hmm.
like you could go on for a rant every single day. But then it becomes like, when is it too much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to have a Twitter. It got hacked for the record. I used to have Twitter and I would use Twitter as my rant because no one I knew was on my Twitter. Nobody. It was just kind of like free to say it without worrying about what everybody people say. I loved
Nice.
it because I can't do that on Facebook. Everybody and their mamas has opinions. They don't even know you.
Yeah.
Like they'll say something, you
Yeah.
know, like on Twitter. And then
That's
they
why
just started retweeting people.
that's why I say, because another thing you were talking about, and I guess where you were going with the fat ass image, was a person who might have to pay for advertisement on social media.
Yeah.
I look at social media and I look at Facebook, and for some reason, sometimes I think my Facebook's not even working right. Like, I'm not even touching the right audience, only because I do feel like they have. All right. So when I first started this whole podcast, just going into it a little bit, my first conversation piece that I did was just solo,
Okay.
and it was just kind of outlining the show. And on that, I said, I don't know how much we're going to do with Facebook or how much we're going to be on Facebook, only because I don't like what Facebook has been doing with people's privacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there was one time where I put a post up on Facebook, and I promise you, Facebook probably took it down or censored it to the point where nobody was able to see it. And what I did was and maybe people can think about this, is what if everybody deleted their Facebook all at once and there was no Facebook?
Oh yeah. That can
So
happen. That's what they did on MySpace.
so think about that
Yeah.
concept, right? What if everybody deleted their Facebook? Then what? Right? So it's almost like a necessary evil. And the reason that I'm going, towards this is because if you're an entrepreneur, you need it, right? You have to have a way to get your information out there.
Mm.
Now, granted, there are other sites, but obviously, when it comes to those bigger networking platforms, Facebook is going to take the cake on pretty much all of them. But YouTube gives them a real run for their money because, they have their own. A lot of people go to YouTube for everything,
Yeah.
so I feel like YouTube and Facebook, one, if you want to connect with people, Facebook's probably a better way to do it, right? Instagram is slowly building to getting there. And I feel like my Instagram gets more buzz than my Facebook, only because I don't know how many people I really want to be friends with that I don't know who they even are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does one how does one look at just accepting requests from everybody and having 5,000 friends, but only 100 of them are even relevant in that 5,000?
Like 100 that you actually do know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or let's just say 100 of them that even engage.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that post you said on Facebook, you got to tag me in it because I want to share it. I want to see if I just want to see if like they really kind of like blocked you on that. I will share that thing on the group because I want to see.
If everybody
Yeah,
deleted
like if
Facebook
everybody
at
couldn't
once.
see, no, yeah, if no one, if the one that you said no one can see, no one sees it, you think they kind of
Yeah,
blocked you off it.
yeah.
I want that. You got to tag me so I can share that.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I might even be petty. I want everybody to share this, please. Yeah, I just want to be petty. I
Everybody
just
share
petty.
this.
Yes, but the answer,
I think they would have a way though of saying like, no, we got to shut that down.
yeah,
Like I just feel because a lot of sponsorships and everything, and especially like what you're talking about, they can have 5,000, 10,000 views, 3 comments, 8 comments, 5 likes,
yep,
right? But the viewing is 10,000,
yes,
right? Where's the engagement? So, like, even if you're paying for it, where's the engagement at? You're paying to be engaged with,
mm,
but all you're doing is seeing that somebody sees it,
yeah,
right? And then there's no engagement. So, I guess I don't want to get too much onto social media, but for somebody like you, I feel like that's very important.
yeah,
And it took you 4 years to break through the wall of getting more views, getting more streams, getting more likes. And I would think that in your industry, you would need that.
Yes, yes. You have to keep it entertaining for them. Like I have to think, I have to really switch my mindset to a point where you gotta be like, what's in it for them? Like that's how you have to do it. Like so when you make stuff, or even if you make a post, you have to make it entertaining for them to want to engage into it. Like that's the main thing. Like, but you also have to understand, like even though you'll get like the 10,000 views, it's an average that maybe 10% to a third will actually engage in that. Because not everybody. If you go on YouTube right now, you watch 10 videos in a row. Do you comment on each of those 10?
No.
No, no, that's just the average. There might be one there where you feel like you want to, but like majority of the time you don't. You just keep going, keep going. So you have to think of it like that. Like when you go on Facebook on like okay, I got 10,000 views or reached 10,000 people. Um, you want to count that. You don't want to count really the comments and the likes. You really want to count who actually did watch it because they took the time to watch that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't really like. And if they do comment, that's just a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it really is. That's how I see about it. So,
I even heard, like people get to a point where they don't even need to read the comments, right?
so some the younger versions,
How do you feel about that?
like they don't read the comments.
Well, not that they don't read the comments, but if you're putting out work, right? And you know where you are in your status of what you do in your field, does a troll really matter?
Like on what they say.
Yeah.
Um,
Does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me. Like I do read the comments. I
Okay.
do. I read all of them. Well, it depends actually. Some of them be a lot. There'll be a lot of comments. I might have time to watch them all, but I do read a lot of them because feedback is important. But you can tell the difference between someone's just attacking you versus someone's actually giving you constructive feedback or criticism on the matter. Like I do read those stuff. Like the Cypher video I'm going to drop, I'm definitely going to read that to see what they say because that feedback will help me with like building a better format for the next episode, stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely do. I think I and forgive me for a word. This might not be a wrong word. I think it'd be foolish not to try to read a few of them.
Sure.
Yeah, you definitely want to try, but like if it comes to a point where you just know they're just talking out their butt, no, it's not even worth it. But yeah, you take it with a grain of salt on that stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, with all that being said, let's get into some of these projects
boom.
that you've put your finger on. A lot of people want to work with you, man. And that's got to be something that if people follow you on social media, they gotta see that. I mean, you're always working, you're always doing something. It's not easy to stay busy. Idle hands are the devil's playground is what they say, right? If
Real
you ain't doing anything, you got more time to think about something you probably shouldn't be doing
right.
as opposed to what you're supposed to be doing, right? Knowledge. Anyways, so run me through it. How do how do people reach out? I got a business. Do I just reach out to Mico because I say, hey, I want to cut a promo
Mm.
for my business? What do I do? What's the process of going through it? How does it work from the beginning? So for anybody that wants to get into this field or be into this space, not saying that we're trying to put other people on into what your industry is, but just a little guidance. I own a business. I reach out to you. I say, hey, I want to cut a promo. Heard you're the man. Heard you can put the ideas together. Where do we go from there?
Great question. Like first things first is I ask them if they've already seen certain videos that they like. Like, if you've seen certain videos like little samples, like, oh yeah, I saw this car dealership made a video like this, I want my video like that. Send me that, and we're gonna see if we can try to make something similar to that, but we'll keep it original. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if they just absolutely have no idea, then I send them sample content. To give them idea, because like people, whatever they do, like if they're a dentist, whatever, they don't do videos, they don't have no idea what they're doing. I can't expect them to give me what they want. So I have to kind of give them options so they can choose what they want.
Okay.
You know, those from the business aspect. From the creative person aspect, like an artist or a painter or a poet, whoever it is, they might already have an idea. So I have to switch my questions around, and I'll literally ask them, "So what would you like me to do for you?" You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? They will literally tell me everything they want to do, and then write it down, I visualize it, and then I give them a platform, a structured platform, because they'll have the idea, but I have to kind of structuralize it for them,
Okay.
and then we go from there. I try to make myself very easy to be reached, like all social medias, emails, websites, all that, so that like there's not a hard place for you to find me. So that's where we started from there, and then once we kind of build the plan, then we start working on some dates. Like works out for you. I literally have to tell people like how long it's going to take to do these things, so that they have kind of platform on here.
Yeah.
So
So it's not a quick turnaround. There's some work that got to be
yeah,
done.
there's some work. There's got to work. That's why we write down. I kind of I quote by the project, because like I can't really give you flat rates on these ideas depending on what you want to do. Because one video I might be in the middle of the desert. Literally, I was in the middle of the desert one time, and that might take longer than me outside your parking lot.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure,
So
sure, sure. Now, working with customers, right, or
mhm.
working with the client,
Yeah.
and they running off the ideas. How does Miko stay focused? And I haven't heard this 100 times already. Wah, wah, wah,
Oh, like the
wah.
hold on, go back. You
Like
can
the
say
child, like I'm giving you my ideas on what I want this video to be or my promo to be,
yeah.
right? You putting it through the lens and you capturing all this. How do you keep yourself focused, laser focused, right? Engaged with, all right, I've heard this 100 times already for the barber or the nightclub that wants this.
Oh, they're like it's the same thing that
That's
they
the
always
same
want.
thing over and
Oh,
over and over. How do you keep yourself locked in to be able to come up with, okay, I understand what the client wants, and you kind of already are building what your vision is.
mhm.
How do you put it all together? Because I'm sure for a nightclub there can be only so many ways you can shoot a promo.
Yeah, yeah. This is funny. I had a conversation with them about that nightclub so many ways just last night. That's interesting. You must have been there, but
In spirit, in spirit.
but there's like I put it into like three circles. And what the client wants, what you think is dope in the video, and then also what the viewer would like.
Mm.
And you got to put that all into those three things.
All right, so
Uh,
hold on. So you do what the client wants,
yeah, the circle what the client wants,
what the viewer wants,
what the viewer likes to see. Yeah,
what they would like to see.
yeah. And then what that will look good professionally.
Okay.
So you got to put that all into those three things on here. So yeah, you do have to. Sometimes you have to do your research if you haven't been in that primer. Like, okay, what did they all? Who all in that field does these type of videos? So you can make sure it's different from theirs on there. So yeah, I will hear the same thing. I want this and this that. And sometimes I may have done the same thing too if I have other videos. So that's why I know for a fact I gotta make sure is different. So there comes with a lot of research, a lot of music, a lot of different angles and different appearances on here. So
Nice.
yeah, definitely. That takes a little minute, but that's it done. It gets it done.
Yeah. Well, anything you got to do, you got to always put it down on paper, right? It got to make sense when you look at it, right? So even though you're looking at it through, a camera, whatever kind of type of camera it's going to be, whether it be video or even, capturing it, still image, there's got to be a process of getting creative and putting it together. The one thing I noticed about all your videos, and I pretty much looked at almost every single one that you put together, there's a creativeness about all of them that they're not really similar. They're not the same, right? There's uh there's a nightclub with these shots here, and then there's the same nightclub with these totally different images or totally different angles of capturing something different
Yeah.
for their promotion. How do you get into your creative work? Like what goes into that?
That's a lot.
Narrow it down for us. Narrow
Okay,
it down.
narrow down. It comes in a point where like you just have to remember what you done like before there. Like, if you shot an like we'll stay on the nightclub samples. If you shot that same nightclub that night and the next day you shoot it from a different motor, um, what you have to do is just kind of remember what you did earlier. Okay, I made this look like a cool movie. What do I need to do differently? I need to do it completely different. I gotta make it look like a music video now. So like I will literally stand there. It's so funny. I would stand there in the club and I would just look around for like 10 minutes. Just look around, see what I have not did, and then I would use that to make a format into a music video.
with people in action
Yeah,
or
with people or without people in action.
okay.
Sometimes we can just do B rolls, a quick little bar pouring a drink,
Mhm.
or like someone smiling. But then I also have to just remember, what did I do last time? Was it the same people? Was it different people? Okay, okay, we don't need those people. Use this one,
Mm,
and then you structure that. Once I get all those done in the beginning, then I'll just fill in the blanks on everything else, like, just the normal usual DJs or music lighting and stuff like that. Make sure you have like a shot of the venue so they know. And then compare your notes of what they do. Like, you pull out your little notes on your phone. Okay, these are things they want. They want this, this, that. All right, knock those out, and you're good to go.
got it.
Yeah, yeah. So first, you get all the creative mixtures different from that. Look at your list on what they wanted, and then go ahead and fill in the blanks with what the viewers were like.
So the owner can never come back and say you didn't touch on those
hmm
things that
I
I
was like, well,
told
no,
you.
you told me this and this and that
You
right
make
here.
sure you check those off, right?
That's right.
Knowing what the client wants, getting that done, right? And then whatever comes out of the creative process from there, at least the client has been taken care of or what they wanted to pin
Exactly, exactly.
down.
Keep
Nice.
that in there.
That's
Don't.
awesome. Okay, so with all that being said, the barber prank that you did, how did that come about? And is getting into the prank space something that you are trying to broaden and expand? Like, what do we got going on there?
That's It's actually a long. This is going to be a long answer, so I apologize in advance.
That's all right.
Um, that came about because I had a video bucket list. Um, and I haven't got a chance to stop and say to myself, wait, I don't have anything for myself.
Mm,
Like, I don't have anything that I can be able to go to film festivals or sell off copyrights to live streaming platforms where, like, I can actually, pop off of this. And I was like, okay, so September, I took a whole month off of my clients, which are very upset. I apologize, guys. Took a whole month off just so I could do my own work. And I wrote down a list, and one of the lists is where it was a prank video. I never did prank video. I was like, pretty cool. Let's see if this goes viral or not. Just
sure,
try it out. You know what
sure.
I'm saying? So, and another thing about me, a lot of people don't know, is I actually do screenwrite. I write stories and everything like that. So it does help out with the videography aspect of things, make it easier for people. So I actually created a whole prank idea, where I hired a friend of mine that also was a barber, and I said, hey, look, let's make this prank. What we're going to do is we're going to, separate your clients to like an hour, so it has time for us to, like, put the hidden cameras and everything, and we're gonna pretend that you've been drinking. So I
Mm.
bought him a flask. I bought him a fake clippers, so he can
Ah,
pretend
so
like
he
he's
could
drunk and
drop them.
drop them. Yeah, yeah,
Yo,
because
because I was wondering. I'm like, yo, I know my man ain't dropping the real clippers. Eh?
yeah, yeah. I went on Amazon.com, bought a whole fake one for him. And then what I did was, like, there is one actor that's a client in there that I had to put it in there because, like, I just wanted them to feel realistic, like
Talking about
everybody.
D.
No, 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 no. Well, D was a coworker.
D works there.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, we didn't. He doesn't work there no more. But at that
Okay,
time,
okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
we hired him. But I'm saying I hired a client where I told him to grow your hair out real quick because I want them to see that he fucked your hair up. So that's the one guy we hired. We hired him.
So
Yeah,
you went that far
yeah,
into
yeah,
the whole.
yeah. I
Oh,
hired him to do that, so the rest of them be like, "Oh no, this guy really is drunk." So we
oh,
did that, but all the other ones, they was like yelling because we had to make sure we had somebody sitting outside, like, "Yo, it's a prank. Don't worry about it."
sure,
Yeah.
sure,
So,
sure, sure. Yeah, because a couple people got tight. They were like, "All right,
mhm.
man, I'm out of here."
Yeah, yeah.
Eh,
Pranks are like, you gotta be careful with it. You gotta make sure, like, it's a prank, but it's not a prank to a point where it hurts people,
sure.
because people could start fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you want to do that. There's a lot of pranks where, like, people do, like, just basic reenactments where they have the whole cast as actors, which I wouldn't don't want to do too much of that because that's where it shows a lot of fakeness.
Sure.
But I did want to put something in there to put more excitement for everybody else around it. So,
Yeah. I also think with pranks too, it's very it could be very difficult to pull off
hmm
because for the person pulling the prank, you know, they gotta be in character,
yes,
and that will be able to show through the whole process of it wasn't really believable. But I thought the barbershop prank was it was hilarious because the the people waiting to get their hair cut is what made it hilarious. Their reaction, and that's what you guys captured. It was the reaction of who the prank was on,
yeah.
right?
But you know what
It
I'm
wasn't
saying?
focusing on the barber; it was focusing on what they were doing. Are you looking to get more into that, or was that kind of like a one and done?
I don't know. I've been asked to do another one. I do have another one in my head. I don't really want to give it out,
Okay.
but I'm like, I do want to. I think I might do one more, but that's it. I don't think I can do any more after that because I don't know. I don't want to. It looks like it's gonna be big enough where like I don't want to characterize like that's all I do, you
Mm.
know. So I think I'll do another one, probably pretty soon because like the person I wanted to do it with, she's a female. And she's like, oh yeah, that'll be a great idea. We should do it. And she does play acting. She's pretty good at this. So I was like, yeah, I could do it. So I'm gonna let you're gonna be first to know if I do it
All right, all right,
though.
all right. And if you have a small cameo in there, let me know.
Oh yeah, we'll put you in.
Now listen. You touched on a little bit too, where you don't want the integrity of what you do to be narrowed down to this guy just does pranks or this guy just does this, he just does that, because you're pretty well rounded, and it kind of seems like you have a niche, and you're taking full grasp of what the niche is giving you,
Mhm.
right? Because if you know, from what I've noticed, it seems like there are certain things that you do, and then like we talked about, there are certain things that you won't do,
Yeah.
right? Because character is big, and you need to have, right,
Yep.
but also for your integrity. So break it down to me on why you decided to get into certain things and you decided to not get into other things, because with your line of work there's a bunch of different avenues you can go down,
Yep.
and what made you not want to go down certain paths.
Right. When it comes to videos, I try to keep myself like open for all types of videos because I feel like if I did that, I can always stay busy. Like, there's videographers I know that just do music videos, which works out for them, but like they probably get once a week, twice a week, depending on how big your clientele. I wanted to just work every day.
Mm.
I want a point where like I can actually just tell people, hey, look, I can't do it right now. I got another video too. You know what I'm saying? I always want to have options. Um, but there's a limit. I don't actually do adult films. I keep away from that. It's just I feel like that kind of taints you.
Mhm.
Um, it kind of like takes away from the fact that what you're doing because you can make like the best videos in the world, like Oscar winning videos, but like I feel like negatively from a side point, they're always going to remember you from these BBW videos you did
Mm.
already, or you know what I'm saying, like they're going to be like, oh, Miko made.
Specifically
Yeah, they're
BBWs.
gonna be like that. You can make a Disney video, Lion King 3. Oh yeah, they're going like Miko White. Oh, you mean Miko White that made a BBW video? Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to see Lion King 3. No, no, not because of him. So
That is hilarious. Oh my.
yeah.
But it also, but I guess it stems back from how you got into the industry
Mhm.
though, right?
Yep.
So you don't doing dance videos and with the crowd that you've tackled, and this is important, for a lot of people, you got to know where you started and where you came from,
Yep.
right? Because a lot of people they lose track of that, right? They lose track of why they were doing it in the first place,
Yep.
right? What character they built up along the way, and then who they become once they get to a certain
Yeah.
spot.
And they also forget what the type of fans they have. Like, if you started off dance videos and you blew it from that, you have dance fans.
Mm,
Like, so you can't do a lot of other videos without having expectancy to build that viewers up too. So you know what I'm saying, if you now all of a sudden you're a videographer, now you want to be an author, like your 100,000 followers, they don't follow you because of that. You're gonna have to
right,
start all over. I don't care if you have 100,000 followers. Guess what? You got 2 likes on your new book you just posted.
right.
You gotta restart. Like they have to remember that stuff. Um, yeah, like and those are things. And then like of course I have the limit on I don't shoot at cemeteries or strip clubs. So those are the three things. Like adult films, don't shoot at strip clubs, and don't shoot at cemeteries. So those are things.
Why the cemetery?
um, I think it's just more of a respect because you know it's like don't respect the dead, like, don't wake the dead kind of thing. Like, I can't be doing a music video about shooting and killing people
Mm,
and I have a tripod on Grandma Sue's grave. It's just kind of
sure,
respecting that.
sure.
That's the only thing on that one. I don't want nobody haunting
Yeah,
me.
that's yeah. I mean, entrepreneurs and people in general, man, they gotta have standards.
Mhm.
You can't just. I guess when you're down at ground level, then working for the dollar is a little bit easier, and it's not as hard to stray away from something,
Mm.
right? But as you start building and as you start progressing and as you start getting more known and your business starts taking off, standards, I'll work with Miko because I believe in some of the things that he won't be involved in,
Right,
right?
right, right.
Because I mean, there'll be a lot of people that could throw a lot of cash and say, "Look, man, I don't care. You don't do strip clubs, but here goes $50,000 to do my promo at the strip club." That's where Mico White has to say, "Do we do it? Do we not do it? Do we hold up to what we believe, or do we not?"
And I've got those offers too. I've got it, like, they pay me. Someone asked me they'll pay me 3K to shoot in the strip club. And I was just like, no. I was like, you won't even take 3K? I was like, no, I mean, you gotta have your standards. Like, you gotta, like, your morals, your standards. Like, if you're gonna give me 3K, then what stopped me from doing other videos for that money? You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? You know, and it's just like not selling your soul, I would say. It's just about, like, you gotta, like, know where you stop. Like, you're always gonna have, another gig. So that's why, like, no, can't do
That's
it, bro.
awesome. So a lot of stuff that you do is local,
Mhm.
right? So you're always shooting around all the Tampa Bay, Pinellas County,
Yes, sir.
Clearwater, St. Pete, Tampa, Brandon. Um, you also went remote to one area,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when you told me where you went, I was like, out of all places, that's where you went to shoot a video.
Sandy, Utah.
Tell me a little bit about it. Tell me a little bit about because I know Utah. All right, so what I know about Utah, a lot of network marketing companies come from Utah.
They do. I didn't know that.
A lot of Mormons,
Yes, I
right?
did know that a lot.
Now, so one person was explaining to me that the reason why network marketing companies are so successful and why a lot of them start from Utah is because Mormons in their culture keep everything in house and build from all of the people that are in their, how
Mm,
would you want to call it, congregation or whatever you want to call it. So that network is already built. And then from that network builds another network from the
hmm,
people that they know. And then from there, it moves on and on and on. But the support and the stability that a network marketing company would start off with has the 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 8,000 people
yeah.
from that Mormon community, and then branching out from there.
I just learned something new to you. I did not know that.
Yo, it was crazy because a lot of people that I know are in network marketing companies, and that's a grind and an entrepreneur all on themselves.
Yeah.
All in itself, and it's not for everybody, but for the ones that get in and they in all the way in, more power to them, man.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about your experience when you went to Utah. What was it like? Shit,
It
do I
was
do I need to go there?
no, no. I mean, no. Actually, no. I shouldn't say that. But no, It's funny because I was there because there was a networking event. It was a huge networking event. It's a fitness convention center. Forgive me, I don't know the official name of it. Apparently they do it over there every year. So it's just bodybuilders, fitnesses. They had American Ninja Warriors there. People
Mm,
try it out. It was fun. I was there to do the promotion for one of the products they had over there for, like, proteins. I think it's proteins and stuff like that. So it is different from a guy that lives in Florida.
sure.
Um, there is absolutely no life out there in Santa Utah because, as you already know, it's a dry state.
Mm,
So I got done with my event, and it was like, I think eight or nine o'clock, and I was like, it's a Friday, let's go hang out. So I started talking to the people I was working with, and the people was over there. I was like, hey, what's the popping tonight? And then one girl was like, it is 8:35. I was like, yeah, there is nothing going on. I was like, but that's when the party starts when I've been far from.
8:35.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. I was like, okay. So I didn't believe the lady. So I started driving around with some buddies that's
Mm,
not from Utah as well. And everything closed at like 10. Yeah,
damn.
everything closed at 10. They was like, in order, if you want to do some life, you gotta go to either Salt Lake City or Las Vegas, maybe. Over there. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Wow.
But like during the day, it's beautiful out there. Beautiful out there. I don't think I saw a lot of black people, but it was very, very, very cultural. They were very nice. It was very fun. I just was so bored at night.
Feel like a different world?
It was a different world. It was definitely different. Um, you know, it's just that like to go there, like you just have to come to the expectancy that like they're not gonna be same for where you're from because I'm from like Panama City, Miami, Florida. Like everything is like the party out there, beach love, fun, and this is more of kind of like they're down to business and then kind of more slow enjoying life. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So
So yeah, so where we come from, more beach fun, party,
yeah,
and where they're from, more salt and lake and and just Utah.
bed at 10, bed at 10 o'clock.
So moving along, that's funny. That's super hilarious because me and my wife, we check off bucket list places on where we want to go. Now I know I can cross Utah off the list because I probably won't be going there if everything closes at damn 10 o'clock. All right. So thank you. That's my gem for the day. All right. Don't spend my money to go to Utah. You got involved with the cipher,
Yes,
or uh, it's the hip hop cipher series.
yes.
Okay, something that I strongly gravitated to. I want to know more about it.
Mm.
What do you got going on in there, and plug that in if you need to, because what's going on with this. It seems very interesting, and for somebody who's a hip hop fan, I enjoy ciphers. I love ciphers. I don't mind being in them.
Ah, yeah, okay, okay.
But yes, it's something that I like. So what do you got going on with that?
That's the official name of it is called the collab. Um, it is definitely hip hop cipher. It's a hip hop cipher web series, where each episode we're gonna have totally different people collabing together to create a cipher, like a different producer, artists, and even a different host. We're probably gonna use the same DJ, DJ Royce. Shout out DJ Royce. He actually came up with a name, the collab on here.
Okay,
Um, and I want to do it a lot different than a lot of ciphers they have out here. Like a lot of people they create these ciphers and it's actually pre-recorded, which is nothing wrong with that. It's cool. It's clear sound and stuff like that. But I don't feel like you get the original rawness from a cipher.
true.
Like when people like come out there, grab the mic and just start spitting. You know what I'm saying? Some people even have them already written, which is even dope still. But like it's just the fact that raw that you picked it up mic and you did it. You didn't have to like punch in or
Yes.
use any auto tone stuff like that. Nah, it's just coming out the mic. And if you ever seen those episodes that Double XL does for ciphers, it's the same. It's kind of like the same platform. They use a microphone, they just record it, and they just do it right then and there. So I wanted to do it that way. Um, the locations are always going to be different.
So now, are you producing the show?
Yeah, yeah, executive producing the whole show.
Okay.
Created it. I even cast all the people in there. I want the first episode to kind of like be like a little wake up. We got Mike Mass, which is a great lyricist. He's been on the Sway show, House Sway, and all that stuff. We got Bar God, we got Madman Cruz, we got Fresh P. These are all like great artists that they specialize in nothing but freestyle. So it was easy for them.
Straight off the head.
Yep, straight off the head.
No
Uh,
written.
oh no, no, they are written. I did tell them, I did give them a month because it was a specific beat that I got from my homie Bricks and Bane. That you do like it's okay to write, write the thing because I do want this to be good. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? But it's the fact that it wasn't like pre-recorded. It was something like you wrote something. All right, go ahead, get the mic, give me your best 16. Let's do it. And
Right.
then that's exactly how it hit.
Nice.
Yeah, it didn't take me long at all to film those guys too.
So now, is this going to be something that is going to continue to keep on coming out? So the concept behind it is, you're constantly changing host, you're changing lyricists, you're changing pretty much everybody but the DJ,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it's a series. How far are we going in with this series? And if is this something that the vision is we just going to keep on going with this until it blows? And
I want to. I want to. I just it does take a lot of time to get all that together. So I created the first episode as a pilot, so I'm actually dropping that today at 12:30, so this is going to be interesting.
all right,
Um Hopefully I'm going to kind of look at all the analytics for the first week. If it does look like we got a decent wave, a decent amount of feedback out of it, that's worth the time to do it again. Oh, we're going to keep it going.
mm,
Yeah, we're going to keep it going. I might do it to a point where like we stack the videos. Like I'll like for maybe a month straight, I'll just make a whole bunch of these videos, like a whole 10 episodes, and then periodically I'll drop them like maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that.
yeah,
So that we have a constant base of this series, like it should be. Like you
yes,
all like in my personal opinion, when you make a web series, you always should try your best to create a good amount of it before you start dropping it. So it's easier for you to consistently drop videos while you're still working on more,
yeah.
So that's how I feel about it.
Very interesting because that was my dilemma with the podcast because I didn't know if you want to record and you want to have a certain amount of recordings already done,
Yeah.
and then that way if okay I can't make it today and something happened, it was an emergency, and I'm expecting you to come here and do an interview on a Saturday and you can't make it, I still need to feed
Mm-hmm.
the fans,
Yep.
right? Call you fans, even though I got five of them, but call you fans. You still need to feed the fans, right? So there was two things in the way I looked at that, and maybe you can elaborate. One was, do I wait before I put it out there and kind of sit on this for a little while before I drop it, which there are a lot of variables on things that can happen by
Yeah.
doing that, or do I just press record and throw it out there and just run with it and throw it out there as it comes? You
No.
know, how do you, for what you're doing, how do you feel like?
It depends. It depends. It depends. If you're like doing it all on your own, I would wait and drop them. I mean, I would wait and stack them up, then drop them. But if you have a team, then you can probably do it periodically. Like, and if you have more than one host that goes like you have a host and there's a co-host, then you could definitely kind of drop them. If you have a team that does the casting for you, you know what I'm saying, while you're working on this, then yeah, you can drop these things periodically. Just I mean, like send as soon as you get them, because you
Mm,
have people that's going to back you up on the times that you might not be available, or they might not be available, or the guests might not be available.
mm,
But like if you're doing this on your own, I wisely, strongly suggest to drop them. If you're a person, let's say for example, your show you do like a weekly basis, I would at least record at least two episodes, and then drop it. So you have like 2 weeks to work on your next episode.
right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're doing a monthly basis, then that's even better. You can just probably like do like 4 or 5 one week, a weekend, and then there you go. You got once for 5 months. But as a podcast, that suggests every week, so you probably want to do two things like that. So yeah, definitely stack. Please, please stack. So
Word for the wise.
yes, that's sir.
Yeah, I've been struggling with that because one, you want quality over quantity, like we talked about, right? You don't just want to interview anybody.
Yeah. Yes.
And for somebody to sit there, the one thing that I've noticed though that's been really good is like people want to be on it. They
Mm,
want to be on the show.
that
Like
means you got a good show going, bro.
that's like,
Yeah.
I literally haven't had to reach out to people, right? You were probably one of the people that I reached out to, like, made that call. And then one other person because I just really wanted to interview her, who she should be coming on the show probably the next week or the week after. I don't want to name drop, but
Okay.
it's gonna be a super dope show. And I always try to look at people and I try to say like, who got shit going on, right? Because those people that have shit going on, they're not easily accessible. It's
Yeah.
not easy to pull them away on a Saturday morning or whenever for them to get here and to do something like that. So the stacking thing I thought about because it was like, man, if I could have one, two, or three of them in the bank, right? Then I could just okay put this out there.
Yeah.
But then I think too, you could lose the motivation because if you don't stay consistent and repetitious, it's like all right, I could throw a show out there without doing any work for the show, right? So I could be losing a little bit of that fuel or that momentum because I just got something to put out there without anybody
Yep.
else, you know,
Yep.
without putting any work or effort into it.
Yeah.
So double-edged sword, but I feel what you're saying, man.
Yeah.
Get a couple of them stacked up in the bank, and that works. So the hip hop cipher series, how you reaching out? How you getting people for it?
I'm actually like literally just doing my research because like I start off with the producer. Like if I know what type of producer it is, if this producer his specializes in just trap beats, I'm gonna look for trap beat artists.
Mm,
And so especially like the first one right now, it's more of kind of up north vibe. So that's why I got like a lot of like lyricists that likes that stuff.
you didn't call me?
But
Oh
oh man, man, right
my
on the
God,
live, right
Mico,
on
and you
live, you
didn't
got me.
call me? You didn't even give me an op now.
Oh. But yeah, it was like that. So I actually normally I hand pick them. Luckily the people I asked, except for one person, they all say yes. But then the one person that didn't say yes was good reason because like I said, this person was not a person that up north, she normally does trap beats. So I
Ah,
was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get you on the next one then. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So I normally kind of hand pick them out. And then you go from there.
that's
So
what's up.
mhm.
So being an executive producer to a show like that, has that kind of taken you off of your comfort zone a little?
No, it actually it's a little bit easier for me because I have a little more control of everything. Like when you're doing your own video that's all about you, I don't have to go ask somebody if like, hey, what do you think about this idea? That does all my stuff. It's
Sure.
like boom, they're asking me about what do you think about the idea. So it's a little bit more relaxing. It's easier. Um, I may, depending on how this works out, I may open opportunities for sponsorships on this one. Like if people want to put ad placements in it, like before or after the show, you know. So because I definitely, I'm still kind of like an open door kind of person. I do want to let everybody in that is trying to do good in their business and trying to get a good push on there. Like if it is a video that does get a lot of views, I definitely want to help out some people on here. So I would like open up opportunities for advertisement.
Now, what have you put in? What have you put in place to spring this to the next level? Like, you know, are you banking on your own?
Hmm.
Enough said.
It just hit. It just hit. I like.
Yep, yep, yep.
Where's the bathroom,
Can I
sir?
go there?
Yeah, yeah, you can go.
Um, that bathroom is getting remodeled, so we got one bathroom straight to the right, first door on the right. What's up? We have any viewers?
Yeah, they just kept coming on. If you want to put this back.
That's it. Got the Hawaiian punch. Top videographers in the industry right now. Probably somebody is one of the most creative people that I've interviewed Oh shit. We're still on YouTube. Is there no way to pause?